Hi, I'm Mike Gannon from Service Aquatics, the Pond Hunter video series. You ever see a pond that has a great location, but the pond itself is a little undesirable to look at? That's what we're dealing with here at our latest project. We're going to be doing a pond renovation, and I want to have you guys see the whole process and really walk you through it. The pond that we have here is in front of a house, which of course gives it curb appeal. Everybody who's passing by gets to see it. As guests and family come up to the home, they have to walk past it. So you want to have something that really looks great, and of course for the homeowner that's going to be a very low maintenance situation as well. And that's what we're going to do here. But first I want to show you what is existing here, and that way we know what not to do, and we can go through the whole process and see the before and after on this particular pond renovation. What I'm about to show you is a little scary in the pond world. So if you have any kids in the area, you may want to ask them to leave before I go to this next scene. But take a look at this. Okay, we're here at the front of the house, and we're just going to come up the main entryway here. Beautiful home, great landscape, still early. All the trees and everything still have to come out. Plants have yet to bloom. But oh boy, what do we have here? Here's the pond, right at the front doorway. Not a pretty picture. There's a filtration system. Not a pretty picture. All around, it's an exposed liner, which is not a desirable situation for any pond. We do have a few fish in here, which while we do the work, we'll keep them in large containers so they can be returned to their beautiful new home. Let's take a look around this whole area. This is the waterfall up here. And up in that area, what you can't see, is where the filter is. We don't know who installed this water feature. It came with the house, and we have a new owner here. He does like that there's a water feature in front of the house, and what we're going to do is basically just enhance it. Some of the things I do like about this is that the boulders here do have some real character pieces. You can see nice moss growth on these, which gives it a real natural appearance like it's always been here. What you won't see anymore is that canister style filter. The existing installation was done with a vinyl type of liner. You can see this material here. It actually gets hard after a period of time being installed, and what invariably happens with these type of liners is what you see right there. They crack, and if you look at this material, it really breaks away very easily, and you don't want that hard quality to your liners. We're going to use an epdm 45 mil liner, so we don't have to deal with this type of a situation. The waterfall itself has a lot of exposed bare spots, which opens the liner up to damage. We're going to really redo this quite a bit. This is basically just a straight run of water that's going down with a little bit of a curve at the end into the pond, and we're going to change that around. Okay, so we're back here at the project. We're going to start the renovation today. What we're basically going to be doing for the first part of it is removing the existing rock wall. We have a retaining area over here. We're going to be taking this rock work out so we can feed our new liner up underneath there and keep everything retained in place, as well as the small round of rock work around the edging of the pond itself. Up here in the waterfall area, we'll take a walk up there. We're going to be redesigning the waterfall. Again, instead of a straight chute on down over some awkwardly placed stones, we're going to be creating pooling areas and more of a cascade that'll look really great in front of this house here. The rock work we're going to keep because it has a nice look to it and we can use it again. Okay, here we have the waterfall area. We're going to reuse the stone that we have here as well as adding to it. We're going to redesign the entire waterfall. Instead of just a straight run down with a little bit of a curve, we're going to create pooling areas with cascades in between them. And of course what we're going to do as well is remove this filter system up here, which is a gravity feed canister style filter. Not only is this filter undersized for the pond, it's very high maintenance, and for the homeowner, they just don't want to end up having to deal with that. The fish we're going to take out and put into a large container over in this area while we do the work. The container that we have currently holds more water than the actual pond will be holding, so the fish will have no problem. And we keep them aerated and covered as we do the work. before going back into the pond, the new pond, they'll be acclimated to the new water that's in there as well. So this is what we're looking at. We're going to start pulling everything apart. Okay, so now we're down to the liner, the old liner. We have removed the rock work. We've tore out the old stream and the old filter system. So let me show you this. This is where we're down to now. This liner is going to be coming out completely, and we're going to replace it with our liner. And then we'll have the skimmer box over here. Our stream area has been completely removed. And where the old filter was housed is now waiting for our new filter. Okay, we have the pond cleared of the liner. And we're going to dig this out a little bit, reshape it a little bit, and then we'll install our new underlayment and liner. Okay, the old liner is out of the pond. We're going to get ready to put down our underlayment and then our 45 mil epdm liner, which is really the material you want to use. This liner here, we broke out and cut out piece by piece. It's a hard plastic, and this liner has more cracks and holes than a, well, you make up your own joke. Anyway, it just is full of holes. This liner was leaking tremendously. There's no way they could have salvaged this. It's better going with the route that we're going as far as refurbishing the entire pond. This plastic material has its place in pond building, but not in these types of installations. So let's stay away from this stuff. We want to create a shelf area inside the pond to allow for aquatic plants. The previous construction had one depth that was basically too deep for anything but deep water plants. So this painted out area here, we're going to excavate down and we'll backfill over here to raise up a shelf area. Okay, we now have the basic footprint of the pond. And from here we're going to smooth all that out and compact it. And then we'll put in our protective underlayment, which is a heavy duty felt. And then on top of that we'll go our epdm liner. In the waterfall area we just paint out a simple design to help us guide through the next part of the excavation to create our pooling areas. So we have 3 pooling areas coming down. Each one will have a cascade in between, and then we'll have kind of a little stream run down into the pond. Okay, so here's the old filter. It was a canister style filter, a gravity feed type of design where the water comes in through the top, goes down through the filter, and then gets discharged out the bottom of it. These are small filters for the size pond that we had. It's a really high maintenance filter. The idea basically is you can spin the top off easily or not so easily. And inside here you have layers of material. You have a carbon pad to clarify the water, way too small. And then you have a sponge to keep debris and sediment from getting back into the pond, again, way too small. And then inside here is all sorts of plastic biomedia that's meant to break down the nutrients that build up inside the pond. For this size pond, there's no way that this filter was ever doing the job, which is why they had such poor water quality. So, let's take a look at these filters. We're going to be installing a biofalls and skimmer box filter combination. This is a good size filter. This will do a great job of providing biological filtration, mechanical filtration for this pond. It will have no problem handling the volume of water that we have. The skimmer box is a large skimmer box. It's going to house a 4,500 gallon per hour pump that'll recirculate the water back up top through this biofalls. Inside here are the components of the biofalls. You can see some really heavy duty sponges, 3 layers of heavy duty sponges, about an inch or so thick each one. That's really going to do the job. That's really what you want to have.